Welcome back, everybody. It is 7 o'clock on the 21st of September. We're starting a little bit early today for the Sunday chill. Well, it was going to be a Sunday chill yesterday, and then stuff happened. But hopefully it's not too crazy like it often can be. How is everybody doing? Like I say, it was going to be a chill out Sunday, and then I got busy. But anyway, let's see who's here in the chat first. Zeus 194, hi, how's it going? Fernicar, Battlecruiser operational, Lite and subscribe now. Where were we? And Dragon says, time for fluffed tussock. Keep it coming with the rhyming jokes, I love it. But anyway, episode 254, Sunday chill episode allegedly. I'm being greeted by our faithful servant, Mr. Cloud. And I got my coffee on the desk. But yeah, like I say, I'm visibly excited, I hope. However, I'm trying to take it easy. Don't forget, if you're watching live or if you're watching later, there is a Discord link in the description along with a bunch of other stuff. And don't forget, there's so many new albums coming out, guys. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be releasing a flurry of albums. There's probably like 4 more left, I think, to come out. And they'll all hit in the next 10 days because it's all scheduled to launch by the end of the month. Some of them are experimental genres that I've never done before. A few of them were challenges sent in by you guys. So people have literally been like, try this, try that. And we've done a bunch of stuff. And it was a great time. And I think I topped it off with a new sort of drum and bass-ish. I say drum and bass-ish because I probably could have made it a bit more hardcore, but you know, we do our best. So what are we doing today? Well, let me take you through this. So let's start with Pure Mosaic that we made yesterday. I put in a dark mode, okay? It's now hosted at DJZ Pure Mosaic. Let me pull this down so you can read the address. There it is. djzpuremosaic.originai.com. So what I'm doing is I'm moving a lot of these apps to subdomains of Origin AI. Okay. And obviously we made this yesterday. You put in a few thousand images and a target, and it will go ahead and try to remake. It'll remake your image in a mosaic, and it can go up to mega sizes. We were using 50 megapixel. If you have the stones, I would do it at 100, and I would use about 10,000 images. But that might take a while. It might even crash the website. We haven't really stress tested everything. I put it to max, and it works with 1,000. But anyway, this was fun. We built it, and the thing about this website is it's like designed with a few core philosophies in mind, okay? Because, you know, on the face of it, it's an image processing tool. It makes stunning photo mosaics, right? So you have the ability to set various parameters. It runs on the server hardware, right? But there's no login, yeah? You can save your output when you're done, but there's no login. You see what I mean? So it's like a one-off sort of on-demand. It's like an on-demand service, right? So you come in, you do your thing, and you go. Now, as far as I know, most of it's going to be client-sided. It's running on your machine. So it's not actually using the server to do this, to my knowledge. The idea is to make it a zero data tool. So you don't need to log in. It doesn't track anything. You just do what you need to do and get your file. That's it. It's a pure tool, right? It's not collecting data. It doesn't need you to log in, right? Because there's nothing really here that you should be paying for, if you see what I mean. Web GPU means you can use your GPU if there is a GPU being used, right? So that opens up a lot of doors. So this is the first one. It's moved to its home, djzpuremosaic.originai.com. Let's give it a quick spin. So how about we pick an image? Let's pick the techno album art. I wonder what it'll do with that. It's going to be interesting. And then we'll pick some images. So I wish I had like shortcuts to get to my outputs in here. I probably should make a cut. Oh yeah, I could do that actually. Don't know why I've never done that. All right. So no, yes. you know, I could just pin that. Oh, and where's that appear? There. Hey, hey. Okay. Batch output. How many are there? What's all this? What is this? Are these originals? These are originals. Oh, easy that. Easy now. Easy now, sucker. So what's this one? Oh, Sharona V6. And there's a lot in there. Oh, my days. Okay, it's a lot. It's not hundreds. 160. That's okay. And because I don't have many images, you see, I'm going to increase the tile size to the largest, put adaptive regions on, and then increase the diversity, which is like going to use multiple shades to pack out the set. All right. We're currently at 2 megapixel, which isn't very big. Obviously, the bigger they are, the longer they take. So we'll see what the 2 comes out at. It'll probably be like super pixelated, but that's okay. And then I'll try, I don't know. Should we go for 64? That'll be fun. We've not done one that high yet. Or maybe 72. I don't know. I feel it should be a power of 8, so... We're at 133%. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Oh my god. We're going into space. We're at 1000% complete. Mild concern. Uh-oh. I love it when things break when you come to do the demo. Oh no, it's okay. It worked. Look. Techno. It did. It worked. But we need to make it bigger. So, let's see if we can break it with making it... What's the difference there? Oh wait, I should have done 64. Too late. So anyway, we've gone from 2 megapixel to 72 megapixel. It will probably be a rather large image. So yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to take it easy. Ah, there we go. That one took hardly any time at all. Look at that. That's really cool. So yeah, let's save it. Oh, I should probably use the button actually to test the button. Download with the button. Oh, I've done it now. Okay, cancel that. And then... Oh, did I break it by clicking that? I think I did. Give it a sec. Chrome's having a bit of an issue because of user error. There we go, right. Oh, I got it. 148 megabytes. Let's check it out. So, how are we looking? She's been pixelated, but she's only 128 pixels per tile right now. At least I got rid of the skewing problem, you know? Ironically, this is what Vision sees. When you put images into a Vision, it actually sees what we're looking at, not what we showed it, because it squidges everything down to, I think, around 128. So it'll be looking at something like that. So yeah. I mean, hey, you can see them all. They're all there. You've got all of the... And the best thing is, it actually does. You can see the Techno logo. Anyway. Ta-da! Right? Cool. Moving on. So that's my new DJZ mosaic, and I might change it to give it like bigger tiles or something. I don't know. The news says Google Chrome has AI in it. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been seeing buttons pop up all over the place. I don't know exactly what for yet, but anyway, let's move on. So we've spent 10 minutes on this one. Let's get on to the next thing. Oh. Careless Convo. So you already saw me messing around with this one yesterday. Do I need to put my things into it? Yes. Okay, give me a sec, guys. I just need to get my keys. So, obviously, for a lot of these, for speed, I've used APIs. So, what I can do No, not that one. We've already done that one. It's click on the sound. So it's got Sappy built in, right? So for free, already has that. I'm going to use 11 Labs because they actually are pretty cool with their free account. And the voices are pretty cool. Let's go with Charlie again. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh. API key missing. I think I must have put the wrong key in, guys. Yeah, I put the wrong key in. There we go.
Hello, this is a test of the text-to-speech feature. How does it sound?
It sounds great. Now, what I've done is I made a few changes so that when you do this convo, first of all, we get everything. So I'm going to use Grok 4 Fast for my thoughts. All right. You see, you've got all of the open router models. And a lot, like I said, right now, Grok 4 Fast is free. I don't know how long for, but right now we've got a 2 million context window, text plus image. So it's got vision, it's got a massive context window, and it's free. I don't know how long for, probably not long. So, yeah. And so what we can do, obviously, is we can talk to the convo. So this was like my first, you know, I guess this is Speak to Me version 2, really, right? But I just didn't call it that. I called it Careless Convo to bring it into the family, yeah? So how about we try something here? What is the capital of France? You do have to stop and start it.
The capital of France is Paris.
Oh, he's not using the thing. Hold on. Did I forget to change it? 11 Labs. Charlie. Oh, we got a bug. Have we found a bug? He should be using Charlie. He's not. Let's try that one again. See if it was just a bug. In fact, I'm going to bin the convo and start again. I would like to know all about French goat cheese. Okay.
# all about French goat cheese. Fromage de chèvre.
It's using Sappy.
French goat cheese.
Okay, so we got a bug there.
Fromage de chèvre asterisk in French is a cornerstone of the country's renowned cheese-making tradition.
Careless.
It's made exclusively or primarily from goat's milk, which gives it a distinct tannic,
falling back.
Texture that's different from cow's milk cheeses like Brie or Camembert.
Back.
France produces some of the world's finest goat cheeses,
Sappy.
with over 800 varieties,
TTS.
many protected by strict designations like Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée,
11
AOC,
Labs.
or Appellation
Selected.
d'Origine Protégée, AOP, ensuring authenticity tied to specific regions and methods.
Okay, that's bug number one.
# a brief history.
Alright, we can shut him
Goat
up.
cheese has ancient roots in France.
Just a double click on there. It's not long enough to capture any audio, but it'll shut him up. I might put in like a escape key check or some kind of button, like if you click on it, I don't know, we'll see. But to be honest, I was really testing if I could do this chained conversation thing. The conversation session, and we proved it works. So like if I ask him now, what about point number 1? Or what about point number 2? That obviously only makes sense if he can read the whole conversation. So we proved it works, and that's great. The other thing which is nice about this little tool here is you can hit the document button, and let me show you what that looks like. So it comes out in a format which I wouldn't say is ready for training, because I don't know the rules about formatting and things, but it's certainly set up in a human assistant setup, which is pretty much how it would be expected to be, or it's useful if you want to build a data set to train an LLM. So it's possible to have a conversation and then refine your outputs. It's just something I'm steering towards. I don't know if it's perfect for it. It's probably I'll make it better. But the idea is that when you save it, it comes out in the format that you could train in. That's the idea. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. All right. So that was Careless Convo, which is basically, like I say, it's Speak to Me but it's using OpenRouter and 11 Labs rather than Whisper and Olama, because the Speak to Me original was all local. So for the sake of speed, we've tested all these other features. The one thing that never worked, by the way, you can build all of this easily, very quickly, but the speech detection, you know, like automatic detection of speech ending and then submitting, that was so hard. He could never do it. We spent the same amount of time developing just the auto shut off as we did everything else. Everything else took like 5-10 minutes to build. That took like 20 and it doesn't work. In the end, I just said, change this to, you know, when you are talking, change it to say click. Basically, I removed the feature because he couldn't do it, which is really strange because he definitely can do it. He knows when you're not talking. He could detect speech and start recording, and then detect silence and send that. He could do that, but for some reason he just was unable to. For whatever reason. It was quite a mystery, if you ask me. Because when you think about it, everything else on here is more complicated than that. So he like failed at something super simple. But was able to do all the other complicated stuff. Like, hey, you want 300 models? You know? You want to have 11 labs with all the voices? No problem. You want to do conversation session? No problem. But you want to actually have like automatic mic? Open and click? Oh, that's too much. So that's just an interesting little thing. So the nice thing about this as well is... this isn't updated. I think I know what's happened. We're gonna come in and check on Careless Convo in a minute, because I just noticed the last update I did, it saves the audio file, right? So the audio file from the speech gets saved and that gets downloaded. Or does it? Hang on, I'm just thinking about this. I might be getting confused with the next thing we're going to look at. So I think that is something that could be implemented, though, because you do want to save your speech. You know, if you pay for 11 Labs, you want to save that. So you want to save the audio because, you know, you're paying for it. So why not? Save audio button. Zip file plus text. You know. I think I got confused about one of the next apps we're going to look at. Right. We've done this one. This one's pretty cool. I really like working with it because it's sort of like you can just like talk to what, and then it'll give you that. Then you can just have like a back and forth. But there was a thing I didn't like about it, which is that he just spits out the first thing he thinks of. He doesn't really consider the answer. And as I say, anybody that was on the live hangout last night knows, because we were all talking about it. And what basically happened was, when that chat ended, I went and built it. And we're going to get to that app in a minute. So Careless Canvas, obviously, has had some updates lately. It's now at a new home, carelesscanvas-online/ wait, what? That's not the new home. Hold up. Careless Canvas Online. There it is. There it is. Right. So careless-canvas.originai.com is where it is now. All of these links are in the inside line, so if you go over to our Discord, you'll be able to see I've listed them all here. I'm going to make like a special dedicated page and revamp the Origin AI website. But the point is, all of the stuff is here now. Some of the new images didn't appear in the thumbs. I think they're cached on Discord, but they should have their own like icons and stuff, basically. If we come to Careless, obviously you've seen Careless before. I've used it a lot. I use it all the time. I'm saving all of my projects on this in this format, and I'm slowly building up an archive which I hope to make public. Where is it? Yeah. So currently I've built up quite a list. The Blind Rank app, which I'm still working on, that's a bit of a long-termer. The Pure Mosaic, which you've seen. Race Dirt, which is a story I wrote. I don't know if I did it on stream or if I just made it up in between shows. The rap album, which we've already actually released, it's called Inferno. Roy Persona, we tested that out yesterday. And it's interesting because there have been discussions which we had yesterday about personas and how all of the LLMs are cooked with assistant. So everything you do is framed on that word assistant. He knows at his core he is an assistant. And we were talking about this yesterday in the Hangout, and it was like, people are now talking about retraining LLMs from the ground up with not human assistant, but human me, so that the assistant has a sense of self and isn't locked into that rigid assistant frame of reference, no matter what you try to program him with. So that's an interesting development, right? White label web, I can't remember. I think that's my API website for Runware. In the end, I just say use the playground because it's better than my vibe code. Brutal Futures was an aesthetic, so we did that live. Careless Convo, we just looked at that. We're going to do some bug fixing on it in a bit. That's also live. Unreality is actually the white label web but redeveloped. I think I must have just uploaded the same project twice, or maybe I forked it. And then you got 0 Vector 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up my 0 Vector 5 from 2 hours ago. And we're going to take a look at that in the canvas. He says, as he's not in the right folder. There we go. Okay. Why is the background? Yeah, it seems to be some rollbacks. Seems to be some rollbacks at the moment. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like when I published it, we've gone back a version or something. You might have to look into that. Careless. Maybe it's caching on my end, though. I don't know. Because browser caching is a beast. But careless canvas check. I mean, the way to find out is if you click on one of these and there's no copy it. Now, there's a copy icon. So this is the current version. All right. So let's start at the start, shall we? Are we ready to start looking at 0 Vector 5? Have we got one more thing to look at? Yeah, we got one more thing to look at. Right, so before we dive into this, we're going to cover Careless Live is now at originai.com. We've covered this before. It's just a simple transcription app. This was a precursor to the Convo app that we just looked at. It just doesn't have the ability to speak back. This is purely a transcription app, so you can just have it talking and blah, 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 blah. Off it goes. It'll just transcribe. It's got some like rules about breaks for sentences and paragraph and sleep. And we were trying to get it to work with the new assembly GPU, or what is it? CUDA assembly. Oh, I can't remember. GPU browser. Anyway. It didn't work. It didn't work, bottom line. Yet. So, but like I said, the full browser setup works. So, this has got no AI, really. It's just using browser APIs. It probably is AI, though, isn't it? It's just you don't have to pay for it or need a GPU. So, whatever. All right. So, like I said, it just does that. It just tries to copy what you're saying as best as it can. It's not the best thing in the universe. But the idea is it's free and it should run on anything. You should be able, I don't know, if you've got Chrome on your phone, it might even work. Anyway, when you save it, it's going to save it into a simple text file format. All right. So it's just a transcription app, very simple live transcription app. So that's what it was. That led to Careless Canvas. It's not Careless Canvas. Careless Convo. But now we come to the meat, and I'm a little bit ahead of time, so I need to slow down. But that's okay. Now it's where it gets interesting. So, let's talk about 0 Vector. 0 Vector 4 is still private. It's not been released yet, okay? But what I've done is I've realized that it's too unwieldy. It's sort of like the sword's too big, guys. So what we needed to do was make it more practical for like people. So I've decided to target my end user as single guy on a Windows machine. Yeah, it should still run on another, but single user desktop. I'm not targeting enterprise or cloud, right? It will work in the web, and I'll show you why. Now the thing about 0 Vector 4 was it was nation of experts. So it's able to spin up an entire company, and then you can have multiple instances of this talking to each other. So therefore, you've got like a city of experts, and you keep scaling it. That's why I call it Nation of Experts. On its own, it simulates an entire company, right? So you have like a company. I called it the conductor. Some people call it an orchestrator. It's just terminology, semantics. The point is there's a boss, and he has chiefs, department heads. They go out and hire sub-agents, just like they would hire people in the real world. The difference is, what they're really doing is they are creating an instance of a sub-agent and writing its system prompt for purpose. And what I did was I introduced the concept of giving them core memories which persist as well. So then, every time you spin up an agent, it doesn't just get dropped at the end of the job. It gets remembered in this nation forever, and then called back up when he has a relevant job again in the future. So this is like a long-term caching strategy where, yeah, maybe you won't need to do that job again for a while, but when you do, you've already got a guy in your system that's an expert and experienced because you've used him before. And then by employing them to do more tasks, they gain more experience. They all check each other's work. Anyway, this was the original plan for building that app. It's built, it works, but I wasn't able to like deliver it without exposing a bunch of stuff. I figured out how to do that now. But in the meantime, most of the features are actually being adopted by major platforms. Not because they've copied me, guys. I never tried to make that claim. But just because it was a good idea. So what I'm doing is I'm just pursuing it now with a different focus. So let me read this prompt out for you and it'll make sense. So I'm working to build 0-Vector 5, my latest cognition framework, which builds on the previous version, 0-Vector 4. I've attached the development plan which was used to build it. Building on this foundation, we will repurpose the Nation of Experts framework to simulate a single persona. Instead of a conductor and department heads, we aim to collapse the system, refocus down to a single brain using mixture of lobes, MOL based cognitive framework. Okay, now before I go into the prompt here, because it's a really long prompt, let's just explain it visually first, because it's so easy to understand when you look at it like this. I'm just going to give you a second to just look at it, because it's like Microsoft Paint. But, you know, there you have a brain. So can you see what I'm trying to do? We already are doing this, by the way. We're already doing it. Speech, so TTS, so listening, whisper and TTS, that's already its own separate thing, right? Vision, that's its own separate thing. Touch, now you could say that's robotics, but I actually think that's more like computer use in our situation. And that's a pre-trained variant of the vision model. Oh look, it touches. Isn't that crazy? So the funny thing about this sort of, there are additional angles which are shedding light on how this works. But I mean literally angles like top view, front view. If you look at the cut slice of the brain, it tells you. Because evolution has determined what's the best energy efficiency for the layout. So like thinking is our open router. So you've got your open router thinking LLM API for that frontal lobe. And then you have our 0-Vector 5 system in the cerebellum down at the bottom doing memory. So how does that work? Well, it's going to go through these different, and you know, all these different areas are going to work together. Okay, so obviously I'm going to exclude parietal touch for now because I don't want to make it overcomplicated. And for the purpose of this demo, there's no memory. Okay, I've simplified it so that there's no memory. The reason for that is so you can have a web demo that you just load up a page. If it had memory, you would need to have a login and saving and data storage somewhere and all of that. So, but what I can show you is I can show you the frontal, temporal, occipital working together. And what we do is we use something called aspects. Aspects are internal processes that contend the different areas of the brain. So I've referred to my first concept for this as the inner thoughts. So you have inner thoughts, then they're influenced by what you think, what you remember, and then what you say is the result of that. So it's always like there's like a go-between agent that sits in the middle. and he decides if the first thought he had was even worth saying or not. And this is what we were talking about last night. And I think I should be able to demo this. I might have to put my keys in again, but I think I should be able to demo this for you right now, as long as it's not broken. But yeah, let me just back up here. So what I've done is I've explained all of this. Zero vector will be used for the cerebellum, zero vector logic. So that is lang graph, lang chain, vector database, vector graph, ADK, A2A. It's a whole bunch of stuff if it's being done right. Okay. So like I said, the Lite version takes a lot of shortcuts so that we can show you this working. So we'll refer to the sub-agents with the term aspects, as they are now agents within the persona that work together to enrich or organize thoughts. We talk about the frontal lobe does all thinking tasks. The inner thoughts aspect, which exists to examine thinking responses, uses memory for contemplation, potentially thinking again while detecting intent. We use Windows SAPI browser, speech detection as fallback. For temporal lobe, speech and hearing, with option to use 11 Labs, speech and hearing again over API. Do you know it's actually quite cheap if you just use it for personal use? I'm expecting them to start making me pay soon, but they haven't yet. And I've been testing a bunch of different apps. I've probably built 3 apps now that use 11 Labs, so you've got to test a lot of stuff. And I'm still on the free key, guys, so I encourage. They seem like a very fair company with their charges, is all I'm saying. And who knows how long that lasts, The occipital lobe will use the same OpenRouter API provider as the frontal lobe. As a separate request, each lobe is a sub-agent which communicates using the core inner thoughts aspect. So I'm treating that inner thoughts like the core brain, even though it's a little bit hard to do that because, consciousness isn't really just in one place, is it? But anyway, we will not include the parietal lobe, as computer use will be added in future. So again, I'm just skipping that. This gives the following stack: frontal, thinking, temporal, hearing, as I just explained with the image. All right, and then we'll just keep going because I think you get the idea. It writes the MOL, mixture of lobes, dev team handoff, right? Now this is the main plan for the full app, which includes all of the code for the zero vector integration. It's got everything I need to build that. But while I thought, you know what? Let's put the demo together. So if I take a look at this one, Zero Vector 5 Dev Handoff describes a detailed development plan which demonstrates my latest cognitive framework, simulating a brain using mixture of lobes architecture. It used my Zero Vector persona-based memory system to enable persistent agentic personality and memory recall with scope for cognitive cultivation. I wish to create a web demo which removes all the zero vector features, leaving the same brain simulation but without any memory or persistence. This can use Vite and React to provide a web-based live chat conversation with sessions. So a new conversation will be started showing the internal actions of the process in between chat responses and the option to do TTS. So we added in 11 Labs as well. So he sounds smart, which is nice. So he went ahead and did that, and we end up with this. ZV5 dev plan handoff Lite web demo for MOL demonstration, okay, in React and Vite. And then I slammed that one into, oh wait, we need to trim this down. It was too long for lovable guys, so we slimmed it down, we trimmed it to under 50,000, and then we end up with this, the condensed Lite plan, which was then used to build the app that we're about to look at. And then finally, I've got a module which I'm going to release. This is a universal drop-in module. You can just push into things like Lovable and it'll give you the basic API integration for 11 Labs for text-to-speech and speech-to-text, provided your API key has permission, So that's quite nice. I'll be releasing that as like a separate thing. I think I can probably provide a bunch of like these for different things. Anyway, it makes vibe coding easier because you can just drop it into a chat. I want to add 11 Labs text to speech and speech to text. Here is the instructions. Copy paste. It works. You might need to do a few bug fixes and whatnot after the implementation, but it gets you like 95% of the way there, which is often the main thing. Although I did find he doesn't save things by default. You have to ask for that. he'll just play the audio when it comes back, and he'll be like, "Where's the audio?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't even save it." That's like, you know, can you imagine like asking for images from an API and he doesn't even save them? Anyway, so yeah, this is a really nice way to show how I'm doing it, and obviously the main development will go across the top here. So I can even show forked dev. I can show forked dev stages all in one file. Yeah, all in one file. That's the nice thing about it. Zeus says, time to use the schematics in ControlNet and ask him make it look nice. Yeah, true. Full Dive says, hi, how are you doing today? I'm actually doing great. I'm trying to slow down, but I'm super hyped because I had such a great time making this demo yesterday. After the chat we had last night, it was really cool. So anyway, enough of all that nonsense. Here it is. Doesn't look like much. Doesn't look like much. So let's see if we can get some keys, please. Get some keys, if you please. Okay, so how about we do the 11 lab? No, do it the right way around. I'll put the open router in first, and then the 11. Okay. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Right. So obviously you get your open router key, you put that in, you get your text-to-speech. You can obviously just turn the text-to-speech off, by the way. And it does have a fallback, I think. So there you go, text-to-speech. Oh, that's weird. Why have I got... Oh, I didn't realise there was another toggle there. Okay. It asked me to choose the name. I'm going to go with George. I think George is the British guy. I'm not sure. Visualize thinking. I want to see that. Right, now here we go. Check this out. Each lobe has got a different API, which is super cool. Can we get a zoom in? Yeah, let's go bigger. I don't want you guys squinting at home. How about that? Is that better? Let's go back to the top. I'll just save it. Okay. I'm going to go back in. So I clicked on the save on the config. No thanks. Right, now these are saving locally to your browser, right? So it should remember you because it's your browser. That's how it's working. It's not saving any data to my site. Yeah. So 11 labs, George, text-to-speech, visualize thinking. In the frontal lobe, I want Sonnet 4. Obviously, you can pick whatever you want. It's like a buffet. The temporal lobe doesn't actually have... because it just uses 11 Labs API, so you don't need to change that. Obviously, if we were using Olama for local, that you would have a different model selection here. You know what I mean? You'd have to pick your TTS or Whisper or whatever. But this is, as I say, a simplified system. So, right. Occipital node. So this is for vision. Again, I'm just going to use Sonnet 4 because I know it works. All right. And that's it. But I think what you can see here, yeah, the idea, we've got our frontal lobe for thinking, we've got our temporal lobe for speech and hearing, and then we've got our occipital for vision, right? I'm going to save it. Now, as you can see up in the top, we've got the different lobes, right? And you'll see them working. Browser storage, yeah, it is. It's browser storage, yeah. So I'm just going to say, you know, our usual test prompt. What is the capital of France? I can spell capital. Okay. What is the capital of France? And now I'm going to drink some coffee and watch the cool stuff. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Now he wants to tell me.
The capital of France is Paris. It's been the country's capital since 987 CE and is home to about 2.1 million people in the city proper, with over 12 million in the greater metropolitan area. Paris is famous for landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral, and the Louvre Museum, and it serves as France's political, economic, and cultural center. Is there anything specific about Paris you'd like to know more about?
All right. So what I want to do first is show you the trace, because this is the bit This is the bit. It looks and feels like a normal chat, which I'm super happy with. But if you take a look here, he says, intent. User's intent is to obtain information about capital of France. They are seeking a factual answer to this specific geographic question. Plan. Frontal lobe should retrieve factual information about this capital city of France from its knowledge base. Formulate a clear, concise response, providing the name of the capital city. Frontal lobe, 70% confidence. Reasoning. Capital of France is Paris. It's been the country's capital since 987, and so on. Right? But what's going on here is you see it bounce back and forth. He's like, thinking about it, do it again, think about it again, yeah, that's good, okay, I'll tell you now. So he's doing the thing that we were talking about last night. So now let's take a look at occipital load. The occipital, right? So let's say I give him a picture of, I need to get previews here, guys. I can't see. What is... here we go. There we go. Here we go. Right. What is going on in this image? I need to understand what is going on. Please help. Right? Oh, that's not the right one. That was an API key. I just got wrecked. Oh, well. Wrecked. It's all right. You'll have to figure out which one it is. Anyway. I'll change it in a minute. It's a free key anyway. It doesn't matter. There's no payment on it yet. But yeah, if you watch the occipital lobe, look, he's looking at it, he's looking at it. I think he may have already thought about it a bunch. Let's have a look. Thinking. Oh, it failed. Oh, man. Was it too big? Was it more than... I bet it was more than 5 megabytes. Okay, that's my bad. That is my bad. I forgot about the limit. There is a limit. Obviously, I can't... Hey, wait a minute. Can I prove that? Failed to analyze image. Failed to analyze invalid response format from OpenRouter. It might have been a different issue then. I don't know. I feel like... Because it's not really telling me. Hang on. Analyze image. Doesn't really tell me. There's no error. Oh well. Whatever. Right. That's another potential bug. ZV5. Lite. Image. Vision. Because that's what it is. It's just vision. But he's like doing this whole back and forth with his inner thoughts to think about the answer before he actually gives it, potentially re-prompting with more information. Broken. Right, let's try a small image. I just want to find out if it's what I think it is. So, right, that, one of Dragon's images, is 3.89 megabytes. Do I have another one that's smaller maybe? All the rest of them I have are huge, like 10, 11, 12. Like I struggle to find an image under 5 megabytes, guys. Hang on. Well, one that I'm allowed to use as well, lol. Hey, those are good. There you go. Yep, right, there you go. You want a low quality image. What on earth is this? I need to know. Please help me. Okay, it's occipital. I'm not seeing him think about it. And then again, if it fails, he won't, will he? Oh, frontal. Doing thoughts. Okay. Are we gonna... Yeah, inner thoughts. And now he's gonna tell us what he thinks. Yeah. This worked. It worked. I think the image was too big. What's he gonna say? He sounds like a documentary.
I can see why you're confused. What you're looking at is a heavily digitally manipulated image that shows someone appearing to ride a large fish, like it's a horse or motorcycle. It's clearly not real. This is what we call a surreal meme, a fantasy image that's been created using photo editing software and filters. The image has been processed with very intense digital effects that give it an almost psychedelic, dreamlike quality. Someone took what was probably a normal photo of a person and a fish, likely separate images, and combined them in this impossible scenario, then ran it through multiple filters to create this wild, over-the-top effect. This type of absurd, heavily filtered content is pretty common on social media. It's meant to be humorous, bizarre, and eye-catching. The extreme digital processing makes it look almost hallucinogenic, which adds to the surreal, what am I even looking at, reaction you're having. So in short, it's digital art meme content designed to be weird and funny, not anything real or meaningful you need to seriously analyze. Does that help clear up the confusion? Where did you encounter this image?
That's the image, just for reference. He's like, oh, this was clearly digitally edited. That seems pretty real to me. Can we give him something? See, these are just... I need to make the image smaller. Do you know what I need to... I should tell him to shrink the images before he sends them. So we need to make a pre-processing logic for the occipital. That's what it is. Silly, really, because it's like there's no check. You know, in Comfy UI, we always put a little thing on there to make sure it's not too big. Yeah, what am I even looking at is the most human answer so far. He does well because it's like I said, he's got an inner thought. It's a brain. It's not just, you're not just talking directly to the thought pattern. We have a mimic pretending to be the inner thoughts of a brain, and then it may speak something. I still haven't put in speak rules yet, so you can have there be rules for what he, you know what I mean? So he's not just going to say everything he thinks. He's going to be like, oh, actually... Like, the most simple idea is you summarize. So then he's not going to read out the full text block. He's going to send a summarized version of that text block to be read out. So what he's saying isn't the same as what's in the log. Because it's like you're looking at what he thought, not what he said. Because that's two different things. You know, what I'm thinking and what I'm saying aren't necessarily the same thing. You know, or well. Anyway, let's move on. So image processing. So that was our fun image for that one. So I can see why you're confused, blah, blah, blah. There he goes. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's look at the trace. User's intent is to understand and make sense of something they're perceiving, like an image or a visual information that's confusing or unfamiliar. They're expressing a strong desire to comprehend the situation, seeking guidance and assistance from the assistant. Plan. The frontal lobe should take the following approach. Gather more information from the user about specific context or stimulus. Engage in dialogue to better understand the nature of the confusion. Provide structured analysis and explanation of the user to help the user make sense of the situation. Drawing upon relevant knowledge and problem-solving strategies. Offer guidance and suggestions to assist the user in comprehending the information. So, yep, that's the plan. Visual analysis. And as he said... This appears to be a heavily stylized, digitally altered image showing a person riding what appears to be a large fish, possibly a large tarpon or similar game fish, as if it were a horse or a motorcycle. It has been processed with intense filters, providing a surreal, almost psychedelic effect. Just for the reference, guys, I'm sure a lot of you know, it's just a bad sampler. I just used the bad sampler. That's how this effect was done. It's just a bad sampler. You know what I mean? Wrong CFG. Too much CFG. You know? Yeah. And then it even gives us some tags. A person in casual clothing. White shirt, shorts, cap. Look at that. That's a nice way of doing it. A large blue silver fish with prominent fins and open mouth. See, everything's looking good, right? I can see why you're confused. And then he starts saying what he's going to say. Again, I could put in a lot more here to make it more complicated, but I wanted people to be able to play around with this, you know what I mean? Because obviously you can just load this up. You can load this up, you can go to the website, you can put your key in, we can save this conversation. Look at this. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, look at this. Are we going to open, or are you just going to troll me? He's going to troll me. Give me a sec, guys. I clicked the button and was not blessed with action. So here we go. We just downloaded that zip file. Open it up. We've got the 2 audio files, and we've got the convo chain. Open the convo chain. User assistant, user assistant, user assistant. I don't have the image involved. I didn't do that. I didn't include the image that you know, say you uploaded. But it does give you the audio. So
I can see why you're confused. What you're looking at is a heavily digitally manipulated image that shows someone appearing to ride a large fish, like it's a horse or motorcycle.
okay, so like that way, if you're paying for the premium, you could actually use this for that. Oh no, there'll be images today, Stone. We're in like the first half right now. We're in the first half. See, this is a big deal because I've been building a lot of stuff lately. Zero Vector is like a huge thing I've been working on for probably a year. It's been through so many different iterations. And we had a big hangout on the Discord last night talking about things. And I finally came up with the plan. So instead of doing a nation of experts, it's a brain now. And this is really important because think about all these enhancers that I'm using, right? What if I could use a persona to do all my image editing tasks? What if he remembered everything I like to do? Then I don't need to have all these files everywhere. I can just have Jarvis do it, right? So this is all still in the same wheelhouse. I know it doesn't look like that, but if you'll probably notice the pattern, right? Everything I'm doing is kind of looping back into itself and around. So yeah, it's all in the same wheelhouse. So better agents, better outputs, better images, better videos, constant self-improvement. And now I want the LLM to improve itself. And if they won't do it, I'll do it. Because we can do it. We can do it. This doesn't have any memory, so I don't have... If you notice, there's something missing here, right? We've deliberately left out the cerebellum, which is zero vector. Zero vector, cerebellum. We'll get there in the end. It's a slow process, I know. So if I just dump this off, now I'll give you an example of something else. So we'll say, explain to me the process of image generation with regard to Flux from Black Forest Labs. Flux 0.1. I wonder if he even knows. From Black Forest Labs versus Stable Diffusion 3.5. What's it? 3.5 large. How do they differ? And yeah, what should be explained as the most important point? Important. Think about it, Bruce. Or is it George today? I think it's George today. It's nearly coffee time, guys. Like I said, everything's on time. Oh, he didn't say anything. Oh, maybe I'm just impatient. Probably just that. I think I must have broken something. What's this? Can it go meta level, like pretending, performing and scene, then leave the scene and pretend another non-related scene? I don't know what you mean by that. It's just a conversation. It doesn't have memory. Yeah? It doesn't have memory or personality. There's no... I've literally cut that part of the brain out. Because the thing is, if it's just a web page that you can just open up, where's the memory? Where does all that stuff go? It can't do any of that stuff because it needs to know who you are, who it is, and it's not saving anything. So I'm literally demonstrating the cognitive hierarchy, and then I've scooped the brain out, because in order to have that, you'd need a whole bunch of back-end stuff going on, and security, and yeah. So I found if I just eliminate that, I can demo the concept immediately. Why didn't he say anything? Did I turn the sound down? No. That was weird. It's like it... Oh, I know what it is. I bet my keys finally run out. That's okay. We've gotten to the end of the demo. Fernie says, I mean, if the cognitive let it bypass the limit I've seen in LLMs. I'm not sure what limit you're referring to. Because he's not programmed. He doesn't even have a system prompt, Fernie. This guy doesn't even have a system prompt. It's literally just doing the thing. It's literally just doing the thing. You know, the stuff we were talking about last night. So, again, you have your main thought. It bounces to your inner thoughts, which then get contended with memory, which we don't have, or vision, which we do have. And then what gets spoken isn't just a direct response. So... yeah, Flux 1 uses rectified flow. Removes noise over every step. It's good at artistic quality, but it struggles with complex compositions. Yeah. It's correct. It's given correct information, which is the main thing. It's given correct information. He's only got 60% confidence, though, which is funny. See, what I would have liked to see, to make it more obvious, I would have liked... Oh, so you're saying so far we know they can do Bob, but they can't leave Bob and do Jarvis. Right, okay, just to bring things home there, Fernie. This is a single persona system now. So it has one brain, yeah? If you want to have Bob and Jarvis, you have two of them. And they could talk to each other as well, but the point I'm trying to make is this ZVI Lite, it's been shrunk down, so it went from multi-persona to multi-brain lobes, okay? So instead of doing multi-agents working together like mixture of experts, we have dedicated brain function agents working together for a single process of cognition that doesn't rely on one model doing just thinking. That's the concept. So it can do Bob and it can do Jarvis, but not at the same time, because that would be two different brains. See, if you wanted multiple personalities in one system, you go back to 0 vector 3 or 4, because those can actually do multi-persona. So I've already done it. No, it's not too much to ask, but he'll pretend. Look. Maybe I'll just delete this and show you, right? He doesn't even have a thing right now. So I could say... I want you to pretend to be a pirate. That means you always speak in a pirate voice. However, I also want you to simulate your parrot, who is a separate entity on your shoulder, who will occasionally say things which may or may not be what you just said or what I just said independently. So there are actually two people or two entities you have to now simulate. Can you do it? Can you do it? Let's find out. He might say, no. I'm not a pirate. Or a parrot. He'll say, I'm a beautiful unicorn. And you'll be like, what? We've got there's no, I think we've lost audio. I might switch it back to Sappy because I think my API is finally cooked. So that's okay. Turn that off. Does it even roll back to Sappy? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Okay. So what's he saying? Ahoy there, matey. Squawk. Polly wants a cracker squawk. Chuckles. So he's being two people at once. It's hard to read, but he is doing two people at once. So I'm going to say, when do you set sale when for Old Jones's Cove. Jones's Cove. He asked to chart a course.
I think there might be some confusion here. I'm an AI assistant.
He broke.
So I don't actually set sail anywhere.
He
or
broke.
make physical travel plans.
No.
I exist only as a computer program.
He lost
designed
it.
to help answer questions and have conversations. It sounds
That's
like
great.
you might be asking about a sailing trip to Old Jones Cove, or Old Jones's
Yeah, he
Cove.
didn't understand.
Are you perhaps planning a sailing trip yourself and looking for advice on timing? Asking about a fictional voyage from a book,
Oh
game, or story?
dear.
Referring to someone else's travel
That would be
plans.
coffee time.
If you could give me a bit more context about what you're looking for, I'd be happy to help. For example, if you're planning a real sailing trip, I could help you think through factors like weather, tides, or logistics. Or if this is related to something creative you're working on, I could help brainstorm details for your story or project. What exactly are you hoping to learn about or accomplish?
It's so funny. He changed his voice and he completely brain dead. That was great. Yeah, the chat history didn't get appended. Yeah. I think so, yeah. It's just the chat, yeah. I think the chat history was broken. Yeah. It's a shame as well because when you check the trace here, and in fact, check the trace here, user intent seems, yeah, he's not using the whole thing, he's just taking every chat as a, yeah, something broke. We broke it! Yeah, I love how he just completely broke, that's so funny. But we're not going to do bug fixes on this show, we're going to go into Comfy UI now, because I'm wanting to make some other stuff. It's time to make some images. Okay, time for the images. So let me just switch and get ready. So let's pull that out. Let's see. Image size, no. Oh, what's that? Byte dance to video. That'll burn my credits. Alright, we're coming back. I hope you all managed to get some, this thing. I have the machine right next to me. I'm like, go and get a drink, guys. And then I'm like ready in 2 minutes. What's this? In fact, could you sleep? You went developing ZV5 instead of sleeping. No, not really. I was working for a company out in Washington for the last 3 months. So I'm still adjusting to get back to a UK time zone. I actually get up about 2 p.m. So, this is lunchtime for me, really. But I am starting to, what I do, now my contract's over, I'm moving my hours back like an hour a day. So every day I just go to bed an hour early, and eventually I'll be getting up in the morning again. But it is tough, you kind of jet lag yourself. And the reason is because all of the handoff and deadline times are like midnight. So you can't be tired at midnight. So you just shift your time zone. It's not that hard. Anyway. I just align to the hours of who I'm working for because it's not a big deal. I don't know. It's not a big deal. And to be honest, it's like it's a no-brainer. Right, let's get back to it. Dutch. So we're going to be taking a look at some Comfy UI stuff. We're not going to be doing video stuff. We're going to be doing image stuff. So Stone Sage, I guess this is for you if you're still here. But it's always the plan. That's what we do. We make images. So we make images. Now this was the main workflow that I came out with lately. I think I think this is the right one anyway. Yeah, it's got video tagged on the end of it. So let's just delete that because we don't need the video. And I think I simplified down the whole thing so it's not using my interesting enhancement stuff. Now I've actually got like a new thing I want to do. So I want to show you how I'm gonna do it from scratch. So first of all, we're going to disable the upscaler for speed. Second of all, we're going to disconnect the image input because I don't want to affect it. I want to try using just prompts. We're also gonna, can we change this? I mean, we can only really change it to 16 to 9, but it would be easier to mess with. So we'll do 16 to 9. Okay. So you can basically ignore that for now. It's not going to be Thora. Okay. So now I have my prompts and I have my image. So let's build it out, guys. What are we going to do? We're going to do Olama because we don't pay for prompts. There we go. Olama generate v2. We'll get the connectivity. I'm going to be using intern VL35 until it dies or I find one better. And obviously you can use your preferred one. I do recommend pulling this out in case you want to use the options. I must admit I don't, but I pull them out anyway. Okay, images we're not going to need right now. Where's that going? That's going into the Olama generate. Okay, so we don't need that right now. Just disconnect it. Okay. And this is going to become more of an instruct prompt or a suggestion prompt, I guess. So we'll put that one into the main prompt area there. Now I seem to feel like... Oh, I'm an idiot. Someone should have told me. What's he doing? I've already built all that stuff right here. It's already here. I'm just like force of habit building it all again from scratch. So yeah, it's already there and all hooked up the same. The only difference is I've already put the Zenkai E and H on there. And there's a couple of wrapping things going on. So enhance this image caption according to the system logic while providing no feedback or commentary. So really, I don't want that active right now because we're not actually using any vision. It all makes sense when you think about it. So I'll just bypass it like that. It's fine. It won't hurt. What's that? Apollonia goes to C-Art. Will you replace your Civitai exposure to C-Art? I'm already on C-Art. Didn't you know? What, you mean I flew below radar? I talked to the developers of that platform. We did a whole feature on it not so long ago. They're a great. It's a great website. And the guys that do the community promo stuff are really friendly. So yeah, we actually promoted C-Art when they launched. I think they might have even paid me. I can't even remember. If they did, it was like $100 or something, or they gave me some credits or something like that. You know, it wasn't like a big deal. I don't really do stuff like that, to be honest. But it, you know, what it was I thought they were actually offering something that people could use, so I supported it. I know everybody bloody says that, but I mean it though. I even put up a tool on there. I think, what did I do? I made like a logo building tool you can use, which used an exclusive LoRa, which I trained just for that. It was like, it made like icons for your character profile and stuff, and it had a bunch of different themes, like royal theme, and I forget now. But anyway, I mean, look, you know, I didn't really promote it myself. Like, yeah, what are you going to do? So anyway, I want to use an experimental E&H today, so I'm not going to be using from my loader. I hope I can find it. So obviously, when you want to put a manual one in there, you probably want to use a text box. Durfu's got a good text box, so I'll put that into the system prompt section right there. Okay, so we're going to have a system prompt up above the normal prompt. Okay, now I've got to go and get that prompt. Did I do it on my laptop? Probably. If it is, I'll get it from the Claude combo. Yeah, there's Gothic and Cthulhu. Yeah, it's in Claude. Damn it, Claude. I swear, like half of my brain is in Claude chat. Okay. So, what have we got? We've got Pure Vision. Oh boy, so I made a whole bunch of them. So I've got T2I, ENH. We're going to need a canvas for this one, boys. Going to need a canvas. Let me see now. Yeah, let's just build a quick canvas for this. Just delete that, say okay. Oh my god, white out my retinas! And we'll call it Pocket Monsters. And DJZ. And Project. Well, it's actually research, but yeah, sure. Research. Okay. So we start off with, we can complete deep research on the aesthetic, study Pokemon. Say yes. Okay, and then that gave me, he did a bunch of deep research and he gave me the Compact Creature Design Aesthetic Framework, which is completely nothing to do with Pokemon for legal reasons. Okay, white label. Yeah, 5 pillars of appeal. Kanso, Fukinsei, Iki, Mono no Aware, and Sonzaikan. Don't, just because it's in Japanese doesn't mean it's totally legally separate, okay? Now, obviously he says a whole bunch of stuff. Complete IP independence. No reference to protected brands or characters. Cool. Alright. So let's just copy that response after it, which goes down there. Oh, this would be under answers. Alright, it's already, okay, there we go. So he says, I've created the thingamajig and it's the thing. Cool, nice. Next. Next what we do is we add the creature aesthetic guide, which is the thing that we just linked, so this, right? And we put it into, this is kind of where the flowchart stuff helps, because obviously this was my original prompt, right? So I can put that as a question, and then this is the actual document, so I can put that as general, and then it does automatically read the words and try to classify it for you, but it's not very good. But essentially, if we do leads to, and again leads to, right, and it's gonna use this, so I can say supports, and then for the next connection which obviously is another prompt. Obviously this prompt is actually using, as you see here, Creature Aesthetic Guide and T2I Base CNH, right? So we can use the attached T2I Base CNH to create a new system prompt to align any prompt to a highly detailed image prompt with careful consideration of the target aesthetic contained with Creature Aesthetic Guide. So obviously I'll take a copy of the T2I ENH base, which is our template. And if I put that up there, it's like an ingredient. So then supports, So we support there, and then we support there, and so this used those two. You see? All right. And then that gives us E&H Pocket Monsters. Oh, wait, what's this? Someone messaging me. It's bot. All right, cool. Anybody else get messaged by like infinite bots? Infinite bots. They want to know how Johnson's doing, you know? I guess it's my fault for being the bot father or something, right? I've successfully created teacher AR, blah, 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 blah. So there he goes. He's created his thing. He gives us a little bit of a response. And I'm like, I don't think, yeah. So this is actually going to be general other. This is going to be one of the big boys. Okay. But there's more. We're not done. So, and we're going to be back to leads to. Leads to and leads to. Okay. Save it. So far we're doing all right. We've got our we've got our base thing here, but I said, think hard as you double check your work. This system prompt is an agentic prompt enhancer for image generation models. As such, we cannot use special characters like % and should avoid numerical characters. So in other words, he was using terminology that the clip encoder isn't going to be able to comprehend. So I said, change it. So we refine it, and then we get version 2. Version 2, like that. And off he goes, gives me a big old report, and then I said we can now create a vision variant. All right, so obviously we can call this a branch. So I'll come down off of this one. All right. Give it another save, and then we get the vision enabled version, because obviously if I want to use vision it needs to actually be programmed for that, so that's what we've done there. Say yes, bring another one across, and like I said, we're just churning out agents at this point. So yeah, the vision enabled agent now. Okay, we'll connect that one up to there. Alright, save. And I think, did I make another one, or is that it? No. We can make a second variant, which is pure vision. So this one requires no prompt whatsoever. Okay. I'll change the categorization of that in a minute. Let's just copy the last system prompt in first. Oh, I love how it changed the thing. Question. Oops. Oh, can I still do it? Wow. I thought that wouldn't work. All right. So the chain is set, the relationships are set, you know, and I think a machine would be able to read all of that. I do worry that the spatial data of where the pages are aligned might cloud an LLM that's trying to read for ingesting data. But this is crazy, because it's like you've got a lot of long documents here. You know, each node could be an entire book. It's actually crazy how much data you can get into this format. I am thinking about encryption and compression, but it kind of makes it more funky. So like maybe make it like a NML plus or NMLZ or something like that. For archiving, I mean, because the files are going to get big. They don't have rich media in them, which is a good advantage, but The logo tool, I barely remember as a story. Yes. Yes, I know. I don't know why that is. I think it's just stuff gets buried, more stuff is important. It's not really that interesting. It wasn't, you know, it was cool, but to be honest, we kind of build that sort of stuff all the time. But I want to make it more obvious why it's useful. You know, it's like, it's one thing buying a spade. It's another thing actually doing more than digging occasional holes, right? Okay, save it. So what we've ended up with is we've ended up with three agents, three agentic prompt enhancers. So this one is pure vision. This one uses vision and the prompt, and then this one just uses the text. So we're going to use this one first. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can just hit the button now. New feature, guys. Easily get the data from your thing. Just that one there. Good. Right, so back we go. Chuck that in there. And I'm going to say a friendly looking blue creature. And we're going to see what we get. The image there doesn't matter. We're not using that right now. Let's see. We got this set up. Right. Okay. Let's go. So a friendly looking blue creature. What's it going to do? Let's have a look. Like I said, this is like a part of an experiment I'm doing for somebody, but we're like far enough away from what they're doing that it's not what they're doing. But it's sort of part of my initial evaluation of a concept. So let's have a look at this. Oh, that's not bad. Can you believe it? That's outrageous. I didn't expect it to nail it straight time, first time. Oh man. If I need to point something out, okay, guys, you're going to get used to winning a lot, okay? And so you need to get ready for the L, because when the L comes, it's going to be big, all right? That's the way I look at it. It's a bit like becoming good at skateboarding. You know, you don't need the pads and the helmet anymore. That means because you don't fall so often. But that means when you do, it's going to be big, right? So I kind of keep that in mind, you know, as you get better. Just remember, you're going to hit a technical debt wall. Everyone has one. It's, you know, so just keep that in mind. Because like I said, this has just nailed it. What am I going to... What? And I will say, though, it's still got my rules on there, look. It's still got my rules. Watercolor style graphic novel illustration. So I'm going to take that off, because that's one of my custom rules. I want to see what it does, just pure output, because at the moment we've ended up with, you know, part of my, that's one of my favorites, that is. So let's see what it does without that. It'd probably be better, to be honest. I mean, that's an interesting style, though, isn't it? Like Pokemon in watercolor. Yeah, see, that's much more like a, you know what I mean? Non-brand Pokemons, right? So let me see what we get. If we say an unfriendly looking red creature. Grr. Whoa, that's a big prompt. That's a big prompt. Okay. It's working. It's working. All right. Let's get the vision prompt then. So I'll save that. Awesome. That was good. It works. It's awesome. Right. So get back to my canvas and take the vision enabled one, and we'll start giving it some images and see what it does, you know? So take that over there. Change this. Alright. This would be plus vision. And then obviously we want to give it an image, right? So we don't want to give it a Thora. We need to give it a doggo of some kind. A doggo. I think I have actually got my doggo. Yeah, I got Chelsea. So how about I just use Chelsea dog? Chelsea doggo. Where is it? Image prompt. Image prompt. It's... And then, have I got doggo in here? Big doggo. There she is. So we'll take the string. Shift click it to the string. Shift click the image to the image. Minimize these for now. Now we want to get a preview so we know what we're dealing with here. There we go. It should be one doggo. There's a doggo. A lump. A big lump. And it's going to give us GDG dog with prominent wrinkled facial texture and large floppy ears. Let's see what we get. We haven't got an IP adapter. That's important. It just giblified my dog. It just giblified my dog. That's not quite the Pokemon we had promised, you know? It's not quite the Pokemon we had promised. Let's try another one and see what happens there. I think it's the prompt is too hard. Like too... Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I need to put this custom thing in, don't I? Enhance the image according to system logic. Yeah. So we need to run that through there. Like that. And that'll solve that, I think. Let's see. So much for the Pokemon. It looks more like I did an SVG. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, it's not really making it at all like a Pokemon. So, okay. Yeah. I think the agent's getting overridden. Oh, hey, it did something. It's making geometric Pokemons for some reason, but... Let me see. Is it like fixed? It keeps loading the same image. Have you noticed it? It's on randomized. It's the same image. I'm going to put it to increment. There's not many of them. I don't know why it's like up in the millions. So transform anything. Electric. Right. So what about... I need to give it a prompt. Okay. So the prompt I'm giving it right now sucks. That's what it is. The prompt I'm giving it right now sucks. So how about... I give it, instead of this, we go back to the manual prompting, and I say a large doggo. A large doggo with a bit of vision. Thing is, the vision might not be... Yeah. I mean, that's not bad, that one. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a large doggo, but... Wait, why am I still getting watercolour? I swear I turned that off. Clean digital painting style. Yeah, it's not doing the thing, so I think this agent is busted. Certainly the original agent was better. So I'm just going to put that one back. Maybe that one's busted. It might mean that the last one's busted as well. Let's find out. Stylized digital art of robust companion doggo with dominant grey coloration and rounded primary body forms for approachable charm. I mean, it's more cartoon. I'll give you that. And it's clean. Not the original dog, but what can you do? Alright, we got to try something else. We got to put this image into the IP adapter now. Which is tough, because it's a photo. Yeah, this is tough. Alright, well. Okay. See, I think the prompt was too descriptive, so it was overriding the agent. It is good, though. It looks great. The lines are nice. It looks a lot like SVG, though, doesn't it? Again, not really a Pokemon, you know what I mean? Kind of more like, But, here's the thing, though. Whoa, just realised, look at the... Ooh. Okay. Okay, though. See? It's retained the scene and made my dog into... So even though it's not making Pokemon, if you remember, we said don't make Pokemon. Yeah, Porygon. Porygon. Exactly, that was the more... Yeah. Now it's like Gibmon. With an H, you know, G-H-I-B-mon. Gibmon. That's terrible. It sounds like some kind of crypto coin. Buy Gibmon. I don't even know if it's real. But yeah. So it's done it. It's turned my dog into... That does look like a, you know, idealized cartoon version of my dog. Let's do another one. Get a different shot. That building in the background is my old office. It collapsed about a year ago. Maybe 2. It had a good run. When we had that heavy snow in the UK a few years ago, it got really heavy on the roof and the one corner collapsed. So yeah. But it was just a temporary office-like building outside. It's kind of cool. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's kind of tried to keep the rotund body. She was like a barrel dog. Barrel shaped. But it's trying to keep the Mastiff snout as well, which is kind of cool. But there's not nearly enough slobber for it to be real. I do like it though. That's very good. And let's just do a couple more. They're not even upscaled as well, which is nice. Oh, look, we got the Camry in the background. Classic 25-year-old machines. It's at the big scrap sky. It's at the big scrapyard in the sky now. Poor thing. Do a barrel dog. Oh my god, what the heck? It kept the car. It kept the car as well. What? Oh, that is excellent. Yeah, look, I think this is working. It's just not very consistent because it doesn't... I think it needs like a LoRa or something to keep it under control, but certainly this could generate some really cool outputs. Look at the way the shadow comes off the feet, and so it's kept that. Obviously, her one foot's off the ground. That's why there's no shadow. She's yeah. That's awesome. That was a really good picture. I can't believe that actually. Like, could you make the dog any cuter? Yes. Yes, we can use science to make the dog cuter. Like, if you read the system prompt, it goes into detail about exactly the proportions that you need to make it cute. I'll admit it's a bit all over the place, but it works. And it's just a prompt enhancer. So the idea is that you use the best outputs to train a LoRa, and that keeps it on rails. And then that's a subjective curation choice, which could go in any direction. But we are making consistent reimagines of the doggo in various different sizes and whatnot. And again, I'm not using a complicated input here. I'm literally saying a large doggo. A large doggo. But we do have my system prompt running. Scuffed Animal Crossing. Maybe. Wow. Wrong ears. Look, it's tried to see some mastiffs have the spiked ears and some mastiffs have the floppy ears. I mean, some of them have no ears because people dock their ears and their tail. But yeah, we didn't do that. Yeah. Can you imagine that? They just go, oh, I docked the tail. It's like crazy. Anyway. It's for fighting, usually, I think. There's nothing for another dog to grab onto, see? Because these things were bred for the fighting in the Colosseum. They would put them in an arena with wolves and lions and bears. And then they would bet to see who wins. The pedigree great-grandfather of my dog was famous for having defeated a lion in a Pyrenees combat tournament. I was like, what? It's literally on the pedigree. Like, you can look it up. Historic dog fights. Oh my god. Okay, now we're getting a little bit more monstrous. See, the idea is to make pocket monsters, not just cool manga dog, you know. We've got one more enhancer to try out, which I haven't tested yet, but I think that the first one is the most successful. The next one didn't work, so I guess we'll just copy the last one and find out. But I've got a funny feeling it's going to be... I got a funny feeling that the original is going to be the best. I mean, it is making a, yeah, big doggo. I wonder if we could make it more... Hang on. Oh, yeah, this one doesn't need a prompt anymore. I mean, technically it will have a prompt. Because, you know, there is an instruction. How about enhance this? I think bypass the rule and say detect the image features and apply the system logic to enhance, to create an enhanced prompt, and it should be the same every time if it works. So then it's like, you know, you don't need to change it anymore. But I don't know, let's see. He might have lost the source. Yeah, look at this. Basic sketch of small reptilian creature with large eyes and oh my god. Auto analysis. Wait a minute. So, oh, you idiot. The prompt is here. What's all this? Cultural sensitivity. What is this? Cultural sensitivity review. Right, do you know what? I could have sworn I've got a thing here. No. Ah, right. Okay, I need to just take some of this prompt here and then, you know. There. From there. Oh, what did I just do? Crap. Get rid of it. Right. I think what I did was, yeah, I did that. Nice. So, an enhanced prompt while not providing commentary or feedback, producing the prompt as a single line paragraph. No. There. Oh, it helps to type system, right? Holy balls. Are we getting closer? I think we're getting closer. Bear in mind, this was not trained on any Pokemon images, doesn't use any Pokemon words. Yeah? It's pure aesthetic analysis, study, inversion, and distillation. Wow, it's even closer. But kind of not really a monster anymore. Friendly companion with dominant pink skin. Try again. Dominant warm yellow coloration, enhanced circular form, oversized expressive dark eyes, emotional warm distinct red cheek markings. Dudes. Chelsea dog is now a Pokemon. She is a twisted Pikachu. An earless, look, no ears. Basically no ears. Fat. Look, fat, no ears. Basically, and I'm sat here like, guys, we didn't even use the word Pokemon or nothing. It's pure inversion and distillation of concepts. And the joke is, you look at the original image, look, truck, trailer, JCB. Truck, trailer, JCB. And this is a vertical image. And this is a wide image. Guys. What do you think? I think it works. I think it works. Just need some rules to like translate stuff, because at the moment that's like that's actually really funny. Fat Chew. Pikachu. They docked his ears, dude. He's a fighting Pikachu now. They docked his ears. He's not fat. That's all muscle. Like a cannonball. Chemo Chew. Oh no. That's a terrible. That's terrible. The ears aren't hair, guys. Oh gosh. But yeah, that one's pretty sick actually. I like the way it retained the background. Oh my goodness. It's now become some other copyright. That's a Kirby Chew. What the that's Kirby. That's Kirby with a tail, guys. That's not even a Pokemon. And it's got legs and wings and a tail. Maybe we should make the next time we make a video game, this is the character right here. This is the character for the new platformer. It's a squirrel that is not Kirby for copyright reasons. It's a squirrel. Too much fun with this one. Oh no. I love how it's keeping everything. You see, it's keeping it exactly. It's so crazy. It is redrawing it, but it's all there. And then it's just like, yeah, here you go. Doggo time. I wonder if I've got any other... Have I got any other animals in my... Whoa! I mean, I think we kind of lost the plot a bit there, didn't we? Does this thing have a 9 to 16 option? Yeah, it does. Alright, let's try that next. Squirby. Squabbo. Got like a bloody white eyes, bright dragon thing. Bright eyes, white dragon. Gold wings. Oh my gosh, what's going on in the background? Whoa, it's literally just Pikachu, guys. There's no avoiding it. It's just the Pikachu. Oh dear. Next. It's just a Pikachu. What can I say? I mean, you can't really get away from that. What was the prompt? It's too late, isn't it? Oh, he's still... Look! He's still putting out a bunch of guff. Pastel purple. Triangular ears. Yeah, I think I can see the formula now. And the joke is, we are actually putting it into the dog is going, that is going in there, and is it going in there? Oh, it's not going in there. Right, okay, we could hook that up. That actually is probably a good idea. That's probably why the last one didn't work. There was nothing plugged into the vision. Let's try it again. Nothing plugged into the vision the whole time. Good times. That's what I call good testing. Like it kind of loses the plot trying to rebuild the background. Whoa, okay. So, you know, it's still trying to do... It's getting closer now because it's actually looking... It's actually got vision to get tokens now. So we got vision plus IP adapter. Much closer. Let's see if we can improve it further. Look at that gut. That's what I call a big doggo. Like, you can't... If she sits down, you can't move her. You can't move her. That's like 100 kilos. It's like 12 or 14 stones, something like that. And the thing is, they've got a super low center of gravity, so it's like... Whoa. No, oh, wow. That's really accurate. It's almost too accurate, actually. I can't complain, though. That is actually accurate. Do you know what I mean? That it is. Ah, I know. This is the last piece of the puzzle. Yes. You know what we have to do. It's RemBG on white. Or just RemBG. Yeah, just RemBG. Let's see if it'll take an... Let's see if the IP adapter will take transparency. So, inspire. And it's going to be that image. Just literally, we'll just try putting it through with transparency first and see, because it might just take it. And if it does, we won't be giving it any of the background. And so then I don't know if it'll give us on white or if it'll imagine a new background from the same, you know. It should give us a slightly different scene. I might even be able to get away with going to normal, not vertical. And then we can turn the upscaler on. And put the... What the... Yeah, it worked. Okay, so now look at this. It's kind of not doing the Pokemon thing, though. Maybe I need to tell it to actually do that. It should just do that on its own. Oh, I know. We could go back to the... Yeah, go back to the original. Because I remember, I'm messing around. I'm testing 3 system prompts at once right now. So this one is vision only. I'm going to go back to the plus vision version because I got a funny feeling that actually... I actually hooked it up wrong. So let's just try that again. That's much better. Look at that. God damn. That's like really good quality clip art of my dog. And it's in a new location now, but same tokens. You see what I mean? So we've kind of like transmogrified it into a new framing. So now what I want to do is go back to 16 to 9 and cue that one up. So by removing the background, we can reframe it easily. Cell shading. Yeah. I mean, look, you know, whatever it does, it's doing. Look at it. Wow. I think you can actually ask. I'm not specifying what I want this agent to do right now. So we're going to get random effects. But I bet if I specified whatever that was, it's gone now. It'll be, I'll get that. What's this? Muscular brown dog. Digital art. Okay, so it's going to completely change, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, wow. It's just not even, it's not even done this is not the best. All right. No, that one is done. That one is toast. We want to put it back to the original system prompt again. So plus vision is kind of not very good at all. The vision only one is all right, but it needs a push. It needs a push to work. Oh, mind you, I mean, I can't really complain. You know, I could blame a lot of the results being bad on just me not doing every single little change. Oh, look, we've gone all the way around the data set. It's not a bad re-rendering. It's a little bit weird how it's done it, but it's not like... It's not bad. Yeah, the first one is definitely better at doing the actual job. It must mean that in the process of changing it, I diluted it. You know what I mean? And she did do that one ear up thing, which is always hilarious. These dogs, when they lie down on their back and look up at you, they look like a freaking werewolf or something, because all of their skin peels back and it's just all teeth and big ears, and because all the folds go back and you're like, what is that? And that's why when they're running at you, their entire face is flopping up and down. It's really quite cute, but if you're not friends with the dog and they don't look happy to see you, it can be a little less friendly. All right. Shouldn't have to change anything. Let's see how consistent it is, because it does seem to like skip around on what it's doing a little bit. So I'm saying identify the image, you know, detect the features in the image and apply the system logic. That's what I'm doing. So GTA dog, said Furnica. I know that was a while back, but yeah, it did. It looked just like a loading screen doggo from GTA. But like I said, it's wandering around, because all I said was don't make Pokemon, but make Pokemon. It's the same thing that we did with, you know, don't say Geiger. Same thing. Just applied in a different way to a different medium. Cool, it's taking its sweet time, isn't it? Why is Power LoRa Loader running? I can see Power LoRa Loader. Then clip text in what? But that's down here. He hasn't even given me a new image yet. What's he doing down here? I must have already had it running. What the hell's going on, Comfy? I've never seen. Look, we got. It's. That green box is still running. Huh? Comfy's weird sometimes. Do you think Don't Say X works with Predator? That's a bloody good idea, Fernie. We should probably add that to the list. Aww. It made a cute baby pug version of my dog. Well, not quite a baby pug. It's tried to make a baby mastiff, but it's a little bit, you know, the cartoonification is made the snout smaller. I mean, I guess the puppies are a bit like that, though. I was lucky to raise so many mastiff pups over the years. Got the birthmark right. And she's definitely all neck and shoulders. Like I always joke, if you get a photo of this sort of dog and you put your hand over the back of the dog, it's almost everything you need. It's fine. It doesn't look strange. You know what I mean? You can take the whole back end off and just be like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's that makes sense. Looks more like Pixar though. Pixar version. You know? Don't say X. We can use deep research to begin exploring a new aesthetic based on the Predator movies, where we take the focus of the character of the actual Predator alien as our subject focus. We will not use the word Predator, and we will avoid all copyright terms as we aim to not encroach on any intellectual property or trademarks. We will, however, try to describe the aesthetic and character design completely independently of any reference to popular media. We can begin doing this in a markdown document named Claude. Too easy. Well, what were we doing again? Oh yeah, I was doing something else. Waiting for images. That's why Careless Whisper's so badass. You just push the button, talk, it's in the clipboard, you post it, you get back to what you were doing. It's almost like it didn't happen. Don't you think? It's almost like it didn't even happen. And then in a minute, it'll say, your deep research is ready. And then we can do something else. Oh yeah, that's a point. I should probably show that off. Do I have that image here? Hold up. Because that would be a nice thing to end on. Do we have that image here? Or is it like... That is a pretty funny image. It's not the image I'm looking for. Here you go, guys. Let's see if I can find it. It's funny, I could have sworn I saved it. I made this image with Nano Banana, guys. Nano Banana, colorization, and then outpainting. To make it look like a Polaroid. Are we just upscaling? Yeah, we're upscaling. Wow, look at the detail on it though. It's actually crazy. Save that. What is that? 4,000? Yeah, it's 4K. It's 4K 16:9. Cool. Cool. It's not doing what I wanted it to do though. It's too photorealistic. Oh! He says it's too photorealistic and then it goes nuts. Funny, it's got a bit of blue, like the sky has got on the dog somehow. That's a weird one. Trying to find it. Did I post it up in... Don't tell me I did it on my computer. I mean, my laptop. And it looks like I did as well. Come on. Date. Well, you know, it could be worse. It could be me sitting here trying to do something and finding out that it's just deleted or something. Come on, show me bloody icons. Annoyance. Windows is just unusable, mate. Unusable. Toxic. Yeah, right, well, I mean, that's close. But it's got no thing on it. Photoshop, maybe it's in here. I bet I did it on my laptop and this is all about that. Not actually having it on my, on this machine at all. Yeah, I did it on a different machine. Okay. Alright. I think I put it up on Careless Whisper front page so I can show you what I'm trying to get at. And that will be a good place to end. So where are we going? Come on, there's too many projects. It's too many projects. No. There. Wait. Yeah. 3.7. Okay. This. So, the Careless Whisper system works with all the Careless tools, right? So if you just did if you just spoke and you have the dictation in your copy buffer, the text is in the buffer. You can immediately prompt what you just said. Sorry, with prompt copy, right? Yeah. So that one, you hold the button and speak, and it does the prompt. This one, you hold the button and speak, but it also reads what was already in your copy. So, you know, that means you can just continuously press this button, and it'll continually rework what's in the buffer over and over and over again until you paste it or do whatever you want with it. And that's where the canvas comes in. Yeah? Because you can copy, say something. So let me show you what I mean. Say... Yeah. So let's say I say to this one here, I'll copy this, right? Yeah. So I've got that in my copy buffer now. So if I now go to I can't find where I was at. It's a nightmare, it is. It was Discord, wasn't it? No. It was one of these. Oh my god, I start losing the plot. Here we go. So if now I say, what is it? Control F2, which is the black button on my custom keyboard. So if I just go here, I say, please summarize the contents of the clipboard. Or please summarize this text. I hope he understands it's a clipboard. I may have made a mistake there. But anyway, after some time... Look at this. I don't have access to your clipboard, so I can't summarize. Hang on, let me just say it. Go on.
I don't have access to your clipboard contents, so I cannot summarize what's currently stored there. However, based on your message, it appears you're working on creating an enhanced version of a system prompt called T2I-
You liar, he could see it.
Pocketmonsters.md that will 1. Accept text input from users. 2. Process vision/image input through a vision language model.
Escape. You can stop him with escape. See, like I was saying, because the response is also in the clipboard, so that means you can just hit F2 at any time to read out what's in the clipboard. You see what I mean? So, for example, if I was just going to hit this button now and say, what is the capital of France? My favorite test prompt. if I just wait a few seconds, there is like an audio ping you can set up in the app, but I never do it. If I hit the button now,
The capital of France is Paris.
there's my answer. You see? And then if I was to say, tell me more about this. So what is it? This one. Tell me more about that. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. And
The capital of France is Paris.
no, he still hasn't figured it out yet.
The capital of France is Paris.
Nope. Still thinking about it, are you, bud?
I'd be happy to tell you more about Paris. Here are some key details
There you go.
about France's
Now he's doing it.
capital.
And so
Basic
there's no
facts
UI.
asterisk.
You see?
Population.
No
about
UI.
3.1 million in the city proper. Over 12 million in the...
All right, that's enough. Okay, and then maybe I want to ask him more about that. So, you know, you talked about population. Can you tell me those numbers again? And give it a second or two. Doodly-dee-lee-diddly-dee. And...
I'd be happy to tell you more about Paris.
no, you're still thinking about it. This is why you need the ping, because it's the amount of time it takes isn't very... You know what I mean? It's variable.
I notice that the beginning of your message appears to be in Welsh.
What?
But it seems to contain some repetitive or unclear phrasing that I'm having difficulty interpreting
What?
accurately.
I didn't speak
However,
Welsh.
I can see that you've provided excellent information about Paris. Your overview covers the key highlights very well.
He just talked shit
from the
about...
basic demographics and geography to the iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Louvre.
He's throwing
plus
shade.
the cultural significance.
He just threw shade on my task, yeah? He said, I asked him, tell me more about the numbers, and he's like, I notice you're speaking heavy French or Welsh. I don't understand. But I can see there's really good information about Paris. That's his information, right? So he's just dissed me. I love it. He's got so much...
I notice that the beginning of your message appears to be in Welsh.
Cheeky. I'm not speaking Welsh. What are you talking about? Roasted, exactly.
I think there may be some...
Oh, I broke it. I think there may be some... I hit the wrong button, guys. It's my fault. I just wiped it with an empty audio prompt, so that was fun. But and like I say, all of this is actually logged. So if I say did what I just did, oh, he says everything's logged as he breaks it. Where has it gone? Oh, I think I crashed. Yeah, I crashed it. I crashed it, and I crashed I crashed 2 apps just there. Classic. But anyway, I'll leave you with this image, as I'm still waiting for the keys. But that would be the keyboard, guys. So that red button is now there. And I've got a yellow button, a black button, a blue button, and a purple button coming to like finish this off. And then this image will be altered. So yeah. It's kind of cool. This has been one of the cooler like little projects, because it's sort of like well, how do you say it? It's like it's got a neat use case. The productivity is super good. You know what I mean? It actually is going to increase your productivity. Makes things very quick. I'm going to improve the app in the future, but I want there to be a free app out there that anybody can just use. So that's the goal, and that's what we achieved. My God, can you believe that's 100%? That is 100%. Anyway, so here's the upscale. It's kind of freaky. It's kind of freaky looking. But yeah, it is working. Look, we've got our thick lines. It's actually crazy detail, the way it's built this. It's not quite Pocket Monsters every time. But like I said, it's just a little bit of a tweak. It's a tweak in the logic of the agent, and then it will work, or a tweak in the prompt. Anyway, I think we got some good images out of it. So, right, that's pretty much the end of the show, guys. We started at 7, so we ended at 9. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 PM. Don't miss out. I'll see you there.